Welcome to another episode of Treasure Corals. In today's video, I want to show you how I aquascape. We are starting with this tank. This is Waterbox 340.7 REEF LX, which is 7 feet. It's been running for a month and a half, and I've just put tons of rock here from my other two aquariums, and same applies for the fish. There is a little bit of coral in here as well, but there is no rhyme or reason to the way everything is laid out, and we are going to try to change it today. So in today's video I will document this process of me taking the steps, what goes into my thinking, and what is the look that I'm going for. I hope it's going to be beneficial for all of you who are rethinking your aquascape, or if you're just starting out with the hobby, and I'd love to share a few things I've learned myself. With that said, let's dive right in. All the rock that you see here, right now I've just put in there's no rhyme or reason the way it's positioned. And I want to change it. So let's first start with the basics. I want all the bigger rocks all the way in the back. And right now there's a couple of pieces that I can clearly eye. There's this piece here, there's a piece over there in the back, and then there is two more here, left and right, and I have one more piece that I'm going to be introducing to this tank right now. So there's 5 pieces of rock. Now what makes it a little bit harder to aquascape is that there is a overflow in the middle, as you can see right over here, and it's a pretty large one. So what I'm thinking is, in front of a tall overflow there's going to be lower rock, and this is probably going to be the place where I'm going to be putting things like torches, who like high light but not necessarily want to be bombarded by a very strong flow that's appropriate for acropora. Now that means that there's going to be 2 tall rocks on one side and maybe 3 tall rocks on the other side. I haven't decided which one is going to be where, but this is what we're going to start with. So my goal right now for the next steps is going to be taking these rocks, just pushing them up a little bit towards the back wall, and trying to have them all kind of balanced in the way they are currently positioned. These two are not too bad, the one on the left, but the ones on the right now are clearly out of place. So I'm going to put them where they should go and introduce one more rock to basically figure out where we're going to go from there. So start with the basic, start with the back, and then we're going to be building towards us. You can see that all of the pillars are now in the back, and I think it's looking a little bit better now. I was able to kind of shift things around and squeeze one more rock over on the right side, and it's not too bad. I'm not 100% digging it just yet, but I think this will do. And on the left side, this is starting to get a little bit too crowded for my taste. So I think this is really kind of the next frontier for me. I got to figure out what do I do with this big rock on the left, because otherwise it's just going to be a little bit too in my face here, and I don't know if I like that look just yet. I don't know. This is pretty hard to aquascape, and I can tell you I don't have that quality as for example Jay, who I shot a video recently, who's a builder. He just kind of sees things in his mind. That's not how my mind works. I have to actually play around with things, see what works, discard what doesn't, and just rinse and repeat. But this is exactly the reason why I'm shooting this video. I want to show you how you get from point A to point B. Now here, right now, as I'm looking at this, I think the next best thing would be to try to figure out a way to squeeze this rock kind of in the back. And now that I think about it, Another thing that I could do as well is maybe remove one of these two rocks and perhaps bring this tall rock over here as another ledge. That could also work. I kind of really like this rock over here just because it's got this beautiful overhang, so I don't really want to lose that. But maybe this rock over here is a little bit too steep. I'm not sure if it quite does it for me. I'm thinking I could take this rock over on the left and bring it over here and exchange them and swap them, and then see if something will come out of that. Another thing I need to do is remember that peg on the right side. So this is the other rock that I've introduced. I gotta find some flat rock that I could then use to put more corals on and just kind of make that hole in there. So that would be my next couple of items. But let's start first with this rock over here, because that really is kind of weird the way it's sticking out. If you think over here, this is kind of almost perfect. You've got the rock in the back, you've got kind of midway rock over here, and then I can have beautiful white sand in front with maybe a couple of corals here and there, but this would look completely different. And I think we're finally done with the second phase, which is not only figuring out what to do with the back wall, but also with the mid level. As you can see, I've taken that big rock that I couldn't really figure out what to do, and I just readjusted it so now it's facing sideways. And I've pushed it back. I think I have a little bit more space there, and I'm going to be posting some Euphilia in this corner. This rock, I kind of like where it's sitting. I'm just going to slightly shift it up. Open up space in the front. I think the fuzzy Nephthia that you have in the back there, it's going to go on the center. This is kind of what I used to have in my other tank, and that looked pretty cool. And I think I'm going to let it be, at least for next little while. The next step is me cleaning up the front and just seeing if I have enough room here to have some white sand in the front. That would be pretty awesome. So that is the next step, and let's see how it will play out. Here we are. This is the final result for this video. Let's recap what we have done. All of the big rocks are now in the back, and now you can see there's a slope that is coming downwards towards us, and this will allow us to position all the corals so that you can see from front to back as if it's a real reef. There's not that much of a slope. I don't want something where you have a full wall. I want that space from the top, and I want to remind everybody that when you are doing aquascape, a lot of times we think of aquascape as the rocks, but really the true aquascape will come when we will put corals. Because if I put a couple of tall staghorns on top of this rock, it's going to go all the way to the water surface. And this is kind of one of the things that I see a lot of times when people get into the hobby. They have this beautiful aquascape, but things get too, but this is without any coral. And then once you start adding actually coral, you get too close to the, I guess, the walls or the glass, and you don't have enough space to aquascape. Even this here looks really busy, but give it a year, and I'm curious where things are going to be. Like maybe I'll have to actually remove a few rocks because it's just too much. But I am pretty happy with how things turned out. Let's take a look from the side. So from the side you've got this beautiful white space in the front, which is kind of awesome. I really like that, and this is one of the benefits of having a I guess large tank front to back. This is one of the reasons I went with this Waterbox is it's almost 30 inches front to back, and if I could do 36 or 48, I'd go with that. To me, this is super important because remember, due to diffraction, water actually compresses things. So you've got about 30% less aquascape in the water than without water. It's just one of those really weird tricks that I guess our eyes play on us. I am going to mess around with this aquascape for a little bit longer, but my vision is to have SPS on both sides, so things that require a lot of light. There's going to be some euphilia on the right and on the left, with probably some torches in the middle. This is going to be a couple of rocks of just torches. Right now I have some acropora here, but that is primarily due to me not having drilled enough holes, which I will do eventually. I also will experiment with coral color placement. For example, over here you've got the orange right next to the purple. That looks really, really cool, and I think there's going to be more of that as time progresses. But this is the final view. I think this will be the aquascape that I will be studying, slightly adjusting, but in 2024 I think this completes my base aquascape. Let me know what you think. If there's something that I could do better, maybe I should open up the front a little bit more. I'm looking for any creative suggestions, and let's see where this will take us. We'll see you next week. There's a couple of things I will be talking about next. I actually have seen a few issues with this tank already. Like I've got some color issues. I'm going to be introducing some new fish. Tons of updates, but we're going to save it for next week. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe.